Hi and welcome back to Mike Makes It. Today we're doing a repair really on my truck step. You may have seen these in an earlier video. Basically you open the defender's door and the side step deploys and closes when you close the door. Now these here, there's three LEDs built into the step. I've put them in as puddle lights, so when you open the door at night you can see where you're walking, and they work really well. Unfortunately they've corroded. You see there's quite a bit of corrosion going on here, and they failed. They're Banggood special as usual. What, 3 months use? And they basically packed up. I had to cut them out of the circuit, because how the circuit is wired, I've got a 12 volt supply to the lamps continuously, and probably through that and the water getting into the lamps has caused some corrosion issues, and the LEDs have actually failed. They've stopped coming on. So the project today is get those out. Hopefully I can bung up the holes that it's going to leave in the step with rubber grommets, and it's going to look okay. Failing that, I can get 2 new tops to put on the steps. But what I'm going to replace them with is this. It's a 12 volt 1 amp supplied cob lamp array. Now the plan for that, and I have had a look at it, it looks better quality than these. This was about £18 for 2. These were £2 each. The only thing, I'm obviously not going to fit that into the step. What I want to do, if we can roll around under the Land Rover, I'm going to find a space probably on the bulkhead. Well, forgive me, not on the bulkhead, on the chassis. Somewhere where when the step opens, you get a fair bit of light where you're just going to stand, i.e. replacing the puddle lights themselves. Might have a problem with the circuit. As I said, they draw an amp, there's 2 of them, so I may have to update the control circuitry for the step, but that shouldn't be a big problem. What I will need to do, because Banggood tend not to give you very good cable lengths on the lamps, first thing is extend the cable. So I'm going to go back into the workshop, put extra cable on it, and see where the best place is to mount the lamp to give you the best light. So that's what we're doing today. I've pre-drilled some holes in the Land Rover chassis where I'm going to fit the lamp, and I'm going to use this system. Rather than tapping out the relatively thin chassis to the desired bolt size I'm going to fit, I'm going to use RS call it a clinch nut. I know these more as riv nuts. Basically it's a metal sleeve with a thread of your desired size, in this case 5mm, running down the middle. And if you fit it on the tool like so, you simply push that into the hole you've got in my case the chassis, and as you squeeze the handle of the tool, if I can do this one-handed, you can see the sides are collapsing. There you go. Let's whiz that out. Now where the sides have collapsed here, there's a pinch area, and that's in my case where the chassis or the metalwork's going to be. So you've got the outside, you've got the inside, and here you've trapped the chassis between the nut. So it's a quick way of putting threads in thin metalwork basically. So I think it's going to work quite well. The clearance hole has got to be slightly bigger than it would be if you're going to tap, say, 5mm. It's like 4.2mm. You should drill for 5mm tap. In this case, it's 6.9mm. So I've gone up a couple of mil, but that takes into account the metalwork of the riv nut. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to do. I've gone out to the truck, pop a couple of them in, and put the lamp into position. There's a hole I pre-drilled, and that's where the lamp's going to fit. But yeah, 6.9mm for this particular riv nut. Poke down the hole, keep it square as you can, and simply squeeze. There is a preset adjuster I've used on here, so you just squeeze until you get to the end stop, and job done. Just unscrew the tool from the riv nut, and there you go. Threaded hole in a thin chassis. It's quite a good depth. I think the thread itself is about 5 to 6 mil deep in the rib nut itself, so you've got a good old thread depth. And there you go, that'll pop into position there. If we move the camera a little bit, there you go. Now I've put it in that position with the cable on that end. Where the cable is on the right hand side, that's the back of the truck. So I'm trying to minimise the water that's going to get into here. I've tucked the lamp as high as I can into the chassis. And I'm going to pull the cable end up out the way, so again we're trying to keep away from the water. I'm not convinced how long this is going to last in here. Hopefully it's going to last a few years. Probably by the time it needs replacing they will have changed the design and I've got to drill more holes in the truck. But anyhow, I'll crack on fitting this and I'll do the other side and we'll see what the light output's like. Right, that's the second puddle light installed on the chassis. Done both sides now. And there's a step with the sticking plasters on. That's where I've replaced the old puddle lights just with rubber grommets. So we'll turn this light off. Unfortunately we're still daylight, so you're not going to get the full effect of the actual puddle light itself. But step open. And there you go. So it does light where you're going to stand when you get out the truck, so it should be okay. I'll wait for the darkness just to get the full effect, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be great. But let's close the door. Light goes off. Underneath again. Open door, step down, light on. Works both sides, so pardon the pun, another step forward. So let the glue dry and I'll take the tape off and it's another job done on the truck for today. Anyhow, thanks for watching.